What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Craig. We're going to be taking a look at the markets today. As you guys know, we had a huge rally yesterday, but that's not abnormal in a bear market. If we have truly started the bear market, which I think we are, we're going to take a look at a chart showing that. As of right now, the making of this video, the Dow futures are down 610, S&P's down 100, NASDAQ's down 4 over 450. Now, is it going to give it all back? Just some? Let's take a look back in history and see what happened. We're going to take a look at the Great Depression chart that I've been talking about compared to where we're at now. Now, again, I want to stress, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is just something I think people should look at. So we're going to take a look at this. Then we're going to take a look at where we're at in the S&P, also the Dow Jones. We're going to take a look at where we're at with all that rebound, where it's at compared to where I thought the resistance was. So also, don't forget, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin at the end. And don't forget, we also do a live stream at noon every day, Monday through Friday. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, tick that notification bell, and smash that like button. All right, let's get into it. So this is the Great Depression chart right here, right? Let me move this over. So as you can see, we've been talking about this. This all doesn't happen in a day. This whole process right here was literally started in September of 29 and it ended in May of 32. So about 2.5 years for this all from top to bottom. So if that was going to be the case, we have 2 or more years to get to the bottom here. If this happens, we're going to zoom in, right? Well, before we do that, I want to show you the similarities and why I've been watching this. We had our high back here, our low, our higher high, our lower low, and then our huge bubble rally, right? Just like right here, we had our high, we had our low, we had a higher high, we had a lower low, huge bubble rally. And a lot of people say, well, that was different back then. Well, cycles are cycles. They tend to repeat. Yes, somebody said something about tariffs yesterday and the markets pump. But in reality, was that going to happen anyway? Probably yes, because markets, once they get sold so much, they have to bounce back. A lot of times you'll have longs. People will be leveraged on longs and their liquidation will hit. So they have to buy back in, right, to make it. And that shoots the markets back up, and vice versa. When you're in a bear market, right, it can only go so low before it shoots back up. Bull market can only go so high before it shoots back down. So let's zoom in here, right? This is where I believe we topped right here, right here. So this was what I believe I believe our top was back here in December. That's when I was talking about it. And let's zoom into this one over here, right? Just to kind of give you a different perspective. All right, so here was the top here in the Great Depression. Now let's take a look at this huge bounce it got right here, right? Because that's a pretty huge bounce, right? Let's take a look at that. That was from the bottom to the top. And remember, these are weekly candles, guys. So from the bottom to the top of that was about 12%. And that's not to say this one's done yet. Whoops. But let's take a good look at this bounce we had here. We're going to go from the bottom of it to the top. So just so you guys know, it's not abnormal to get a huge rally, right? Was it because of the news? Maybe. Or was it just going to happen? And they understand that and they put out the news, looking for this. That's up to you to decide. Let me know in the comments. Do you think it was just going to happen anyways? Or do you think it needed a little push from the news? I would love to go back, and I haven't done it, but I'd like to try and just see what created this bounce, right? And everybody, I'm sure, got super bullish, thinking that was the bottom. It was it's going higher because that's what markets do, right? Well, they do until they don't. So we're going to put this back to normal here. Don't forget, guys, tune in at noon. I'm not done yet, but I just want to remind you guys to tune in at noon where we go over the charts of your choice, whatever chart you want to look at. All we ask for is 100 likes when that starts and go from there. So let's take a look. So far, let's refresh this. The Dow is now down 640 pre-markets. S&P is down 113. NASDAQ futures down 480. Now, let's take a look. So this is where I said to look for a rejection. Again, it could go all the way up here. If it wanted to be a huge rally up to this 43.5 where we fell out of this triangle, we already fell out of this rising channel. We already hit our support here. But like I've been saying, keep an eye on this on the weekly. If we close the weekly before this or below this 37.8, right? This pretty much makes this valid, right? A 5-wave ending, 5-wave diagonal. And what happens after that is a huge, huge, huge move down. Let's talk about S&P. So S&P, we're looking for a possible rejection here, right? 53.94. We'll see where the market opens. We may just open below this and continue down. If you look closely here, you can see there, and we'll see this in Bitcoin also, but you can see it had a higher high here, a lower high here, right? That's hidden bearish divergence. So we'll see if that plays out today or not. But it could be, that rally could be over and it could be taken right back. And maybe we'll get some news to match it where tariffs are going back on. We're putting them on at midnight. You know, I don't know. Who knows? But I don't believe anything I hear anymore. I really don't. I think it's all just a bunch of people that figured out these markets and they're all together. Even though they seem like they're opposing, they are just making a bunch of money. They're taking everybody's money out of the market. That's what I believe has happened. You let me know what you think. So here's the oil chart. Look at that. Back down, hit our, remember we had this target for over 2 years, right? Now we came back down, we hit it, and now this should be our resistance. If that's the case, we could see some really low oil prices. So all right, we're going to talk about Bitcoin, and I know most of you tune in to see my trades, and they are at a loss. And let's take a look. And bam, Prime XBT. Right now we are at a $15,000 total loss, but I'm not out of the trade, so I haven't lost yet. And I will probably just continue to ladder in, honestly, because I don't see this thing going a whole lot higher. Of course, depending on what traditional markets do. But remember, we were up over $150,000. So this is like having an account with, so there's 150,000 in it, right? And then losing 15. So that's like having a $1,500 account and losing 150. So just so you guys know, it's not too much pressure yet. But anyways, this is what I'm planning on doing. I will continue to do so. If you guys are interested in trading, definitely check out Prime XBT, because right now, for the rest of this month, it's going to end soon. You can get a $100 deposit bonus. So whatever you deposit, they'll match 100% up to $10,000. Awesome exchange, guys. You can trade Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, even MicroStrategy's on here. Definitely check them out. You can use your crypto to trade against all the other markets, right? So you can trade in crypto instead of money. Anyways, or instead of cash, or US dollar, I guess I'll say, or euro or whatever. And BITUNIX. Remember, BITUNIX is having a trading competition too. I have not got it back into another trade here. We lost our trade yesterday for $1,000. Well, it was actually a couple days trade. Like I said, on this channel, you'll see my wins and my losses. We are way up for the last month. So if someone's showing you trades and they never lose, they're lying. But anyways, don't forget, you can join the contest, BITUNIX, down below. Click on the link, sign up. This one's more for no KYC, no VPN. And if you want to join the contest, you could win a Tesla, a Rolex, tons of different prizes on there. Check it out. I did post it on X. You can go there and look for it, or in the Discord. That link is also down below. And here is your bullish case for Bitcoin. If everything's bottom and going up for one more leg up, that's it. If not, remember, guys, we've been watching this here, this parabola break, and I still think this is most likely what's going to happen. I could be wrong, and If it invalidates, I'll let you guys know. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, tune back in at noon for our live stream. Take it easy, guys. I am out of here.